sent that to Minty. Y'all can message me on Discord, Amino, or in the Twitch chat. I'll try to pay attention to each. But anyways, I'm gonna get started here. I'm gonna pull up the browser. Let me go to my samples. So I get all my samples, like many people, from Splice and Loop Cloud is a one that I like. Oops, let me bring that back up. I need that pop-up chat. Okay. So Loop Cloud, but mainly Splice. Go through packs. I handpick them all. I don't like to use free ones at all, just because something I just always think, I don't know. I just rather have something that has this, like, a little bit more, like, upfront value, but like money you put in or something like that, just for samples. Because what it is you can get free samples all day long, and then all of a sudden you got too many samples to work with. So I'd rather just like invest a little bit money in Splice or something, pick out a whole bunch of samples, and then use those samples, for a while before you go out hunting for more. So that's what I did. I've got a whole bunch of collected loops and collected samples, and I was renting Arcade, or I was paying for Arcade by Output for a while. They had a whole bunch of patches on there, but I quit paying for it. But before that, I sampled a few of the patches from it just so I could have it, get my money's worth. So I got some of that to mess with. But anyways, I'm gonna start with a drum beat. No genre necessarily. Oh, that's loud. Let me turn that down. Down. There we go. Kind of want to do this one. EWB 190s, so I mean, like 85. Or, what am I thinking? 195 or 95. I'm doing bad math. I'm looking at the chat over here. All right. Hey, Minty's in the chat. What's up? All right. So FL Studio Power. I did set my microphone to auto sidechain the music for Fruity Loops when it's playing, so I'm gonna see if that works. I might have to adjust it, but when I talk, it should lower the volume of the music. Like, watch. Test, 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 check, check, test, test, test. All right, brings it back up, so that's cool. I'm gonna do this one. So that's 95 beats per minute, right? I'm just gonna put it at 190. All right. I'll probably chop it up, but I'm gonna leave it like that first. I'm gonna set some of the side chain, just automate, get it going. So I got some automation clips I use for sidechain, and then I just trigger them with just the just the MIDI clip. So and I got different levels. I got like a heavier one and a softer one. Let me turn my monitor and get a better angle here. There we go. So let me see. I'm gonna do the kick, heavy sidechain. Oops, I done messed that up. You know where it's at? Okay, it's right here. Okay, kick. And then the snare. That. All right, and then I like to offset my side chain just like ever so slightly. Like, I don't know what increment this is. As the smallest increment, it lets me move it on the default resolution of FL Studio. I move over this trigger, right, just a little to the left. That way it ducks it, starts ducking it right before. It's not always necessary. As you can see, this kick, for whatever reason, has a little space there. But if you notice here, it'd be really good because it comes in. And if you look at the actual automation clip, which is like this one, Oh, wrong thing. Hold on. Kick heavy. Like this thing. That's the automation clip. So essentially, when I move it over to the left, it's looking like that. So it hits 0 or whatever, negative, infinity or whatever, right there on the grid. But it starts going down right before the grid, if you think about it. But then I'm not using the automation clip to do it. I'm triggering it with that. So, hey, thanks, King Pickle. I like your name. If you're new here and you haven't joined the music production amino community, this goes alongside our community we have. Thanks, Beckett. Music production amino, and we have a Discord to go along with it. So I'll make sure there's a link. There's probably a link in our description down below or something, but if there's not, I'll make sure to post one here in a second. All right, so kick, snare. I'm not gonna do anything to the hats. Okay. I'll just do the kicks first. There's a snare snuck in there, huh? Oh, that's you know what? I'm gonna do that once we get something so I can actually hear it pumping stuff. So I'm going to leave that as is, just like that. And I'm gonna add another loop. So we got the drums. Let's go for the bass. I usually don't spend too much time searching. I just try to fit whatever. You know, that's usually my plan. Just make anything fit. Oh, I like that. Ooh, I like this one. All right, so I kind of like this. Beam smooth section 1. It's at 108 beats per minute. So I'm actually going to stretch this. Time stretch. Auto detect. Let's see. What did I say that was? Oh, yeah, it's 108. If you type in 108, it should knock it down. Okay, so this is E minor. Yeah, so I'll show you my sidechain. Yeah, I'm not sidechaining anything. I'm just like I'm setting up the clips, but I'll show you the controller I have for that. It's right here. Not knocking down the kick for some reason. Oh, right here. Okay. I should just, let's see. I'm gonna just detach that. All right, so you'll see here. So I have these controllers set up. So then while I'm producing, this is built into my template. These auto controllers, mainly just so you can just get ahead, just already have all the sidechains set up. But also I have different levels. I have a soft one, a heavy one, and then once the one that says kick 0.5, that's for like using it on equalizers. If you want to like make a dynamic EQ, it's 50% value, so you can duck down from 0 to negative. And you can set different things. So I got one for the kick, the snare, and then I got this gate that's basically designed to go the opposite direction. You invert the link, and then it opens stuff every time the kick and snare hits. So all I have to do though, so now I got the bass going. I need to actually link these to the bass. Let's do that. Actually, what did I do here? I forgot to link these, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on 4. Actually, I'm gonna put it on 7. I'm gonna put the drums on 6, but then I'm gonna route them to these buses I have over here for the bus mixing and all that stuff. So drums gonna go to that bus, bass go to this bus. Oops. All right, I'm gonna open up my limiter. I'm gonna take a look here. Okay, so I mix as I go, but not necessarily for the final mix. I mix for loudness. We talk a lot about this on the feedback streams. I'll show you how I do it. But I like to mix at -8 essentially. A lot of people go -6, and there's no real rule to that, but there are a lot of good guidelines and like there's a lot of good suggestions. -6 has always been the industry standards for like pre-masters. I do -8 for some reason. It's just kind of how like a lot of my tracks end up for the pre-master. But how I have that set up here on this limiter, mainly for streaming purposes, so I can get it a little louder and all that stuff. I push the gain. I know it's kind of weird, but I push this gain up to +6. So I push the gain up to +6, which makes it, 6 decibels louder. But then when I render this out, I take the limiter off, of course, and that brings it back down to -6. But I also have the ceiling pulled down 2 dBs, so I'm really only going up 2 dBs below that. So when it goes back down, it's actually going down to -8. Whatever. It's all, besides, it's really just how you're setting up your pre-master, because when you go into your mastering plugin or your mastering chain, you just need to kind of know where your gain stage is for your pre-master, and then you set everything else accordingly. So, it doesn't matter exactly where you get it, as long as you give yourself some headroom. I'm sure a lot of y'all know that, but I just want to throw that out there. But I don't like to go above this limiter ever. So what I'm going to do, the drums are too loud. I'm going to gain stage the drums, essentially. I'm going to pull down the first gain volume, whatever, on the drum itself. And I'm going to get it right below, because it's the drums and I like to mix my drums loud, I'm going to get the drums right below this green line. There we go. So again, that green line's pulled down 2. And the whole thing's being pushed up 6, so it is whatever that means. Essentially -8. All right, now I'll know if the sidechain's working and stuff, because first I'm gonna mute the drums. I'm gonna bring back in this bass. I'm gonna get this bass as loud as I can too. Turn it down a little. So that's pretty loud bass. Another good way to test that is open up the Span plugin or an analyzer. A lot of people use Span, it's free. Click on the bass. You really don't want on Span. A little trick about it is you really don't want your subs when they're mastered, when the track is actually mastered. I heard this from a YouTube, so I'm just repeating knowledge. On Span, you can analyze it. You don't want your subs to go above -30 on this analyzer here, like the actual low frequencies, when it's mastered. So in bass music, everyone wants their bass as loud as they could possibly get it without distorting and clipping and all that stuff. You start going above -30 here on the low subs, and it starts distorting, like digitally clipping. So you want to keep that right there. You can get it. You can of course make it quieter, but if you want that loud sub or really impactful sub, that's a good way to check it. But this is a pre-master, so it's actually, I like to keep mine actually way down here around -42. Talking about these sub frequencies here. This stuff here, it's okay to get a little louder. I don't mind it getting a little louder. That's the stuff you're going to hear on smaller speakers. But I'll show you another way to balance, a good balance, by looking at this spectrum on a good mix for your highs, your lows, and where to dip the mids and all that stuff. But all right, I'm going to leave that bass where it is because it seems to be fine for now. And I'm going to start sidechaining it. Okay. I'm going to name this bass. And I'm going to name this drums. Okay. I'm trying to think if I want to put the side chain right on this channel or if I want to put it on the master bus. I'm going to actually put it on the channel. To do that, I just have some want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on bigfollow.com. Buy followers. I don't know, dude. If you promise the followers show up and watch my content every day and comment on it and then hang out and stuff, those are good followers. But if they're just fake followers, not the kind of fame I'm after. All right, so I got a whole bunch of presets over here somewhere. My presets. These are basically just default Fruity Loops presets and stuff, but I just have them here in a smaller folder, more organized. And I'm still missing a bunch. But let me go ahead and add what I use for sidechaining. I just use like basically a utility tool called Fruity Balance. Not what I wanted to do though. I'm gonna do kick and snare. So I grab one for the snare. I like doing it this way because, ooh, my bad. I like doing it this way for sidechaining because you have a lot more control. For reasons I'll show you here in a second. But anyways, I'll grab two of these utilities. I'm gonna do one for the snare. I don't know why it keeps pulling that up. Effects. That's weird. Hold on. Okay, so I got one here for the snare, and oh, it's still down. It's just going up to the top for some reason. And then I got this one for the kicks. I'll just put them like that. All right, so these are just like utility, like literally just like a left and right for panning and a volume control. So in Fruity Loops, you can use these for a lot of different things, just to get a little bit more gain out of your things, but mainly so you can automate volume and automate panning is one of these, and you can inject that anywhere into the chain. So instead of doing it on the master out here, which is only going to control the master output of that channel, you open up a utility and able to enter a Fruity Loops or whatever, something you can insert into the effects chain that has a volume and a balance on it. So then you can control it anywhere in the chain. So I'm going to actually put these at the end of the bass. I'll leave a space for maybe a volume automation. And then I'm going to link these to those controllers that I'm talking about. So this is the snare one. So I hit link to controller. Here's all those. This is a list of all those controls that I had. Anyway, so I can control if I wanted to hit duck heavy on the snare or duck light on the snare, duck heavy on the kick, or duck soft on the kick, and then a mixture of those. You know what I mean? So that's why I like to just do it in this fashion without having to open up a whole bunch of LFO tools or other compressors and different. There's so many ways to sidechain, as everybody knows, but this is the way I like to do it. So I'm going to link. This is the bass, so I'm gonna duck it pretty heavy, and this is the snare one. So I have this labeled as snare heavy. Accept it. And then I'm gonna go to the kick one and link that one to kick heavy, which is right here. So now those should duck with these. I don't know why this is going to max value. Something about the way I'm doing it with these short clips. I usually do it in all one long automation clip. So let me try that. I'm going to pull this out like this. And here's a really cool trick you can do on Fruity Loops. If I open up, oops, I don't want to do that. OBS is currently active. Sure. Move that down. Something you can do on Fruity Loops is, okay, so I'm going to sidechain. I'm going to work on the kick. I'm going to work on the kick heavy. That's this one right here. And I'm going to take this audio file. I'm going to drag it on top of that thing. So now when that actually doesn't put out audio. It just kind of gives you a picture of where the things are hitting. So I'm going to put this roughly where I think all the kicks are. That's probably a snare. There's a little baby kick in there. I'm just going to roughly put this down. Okay, Whack another one here. Here. Right? I don't know why this is popping up like that. It usually doesn't do that. I did something wrong with saving those things. Let me see if I go back to reset and initialize song with this position. I don't know if that's what that's supposed to do. No, it doesn't work. I don't know why that's pushing that up. I have something set wrong. So I go to my automation clips here. What is that one? The snare heavy. That's this guy. It shouldn't be going up like that. You know what it is, I think? Let me go ahead and put down. I used to keep these automation clips over to the left. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. So I'm going to take the kick or snare heavy automation clip and put it over here. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, that's what it was. So, I have to fix that in my template, but I got to keep these little automation clips over here to the left. And I'll take the kick heavy. There. Best way to do that is to, in Fruity Loops, I can take this little start point, move it over a little, and make it the start point there, and then everything to the left is just like, you know, placeholder. Or, like on a palette, basically. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fine. Alright, so now that fixed. Now these stay. I keep them right there because you don't want to go louder than the sample was. So this is like default right here that they open up at, which is like 80%. So that doesn't. So when you first drop the utility on, it doesn't make it louder or quieter. It just leaves it at that. So let's do the. So let's go do the snare, which is. So that's the kick. I'm actually going to copy that on all the kick. So the soft kick, heavy kick, and the 50% kick value thing. And now I'm going to go do the snare. This one. What's weird is, okay, the snare comes right after. It's like a little late, huh? Alright, just copy and paste that. Okay, that's now. Let's see how good this is actually sidechaining this. I'm gonna pull back up the limiter. There we go. Not clipping. So if I was to turn off the sidechain, look what happens. This limiter starts clipping. Starts going above green. And I'm sure most EDM producers know about sidechain, but this is the most important reason why people sidechain. And it also sounds cool too once you get it all right. But there you go. So on their own, the drums is all the way up to the line. And the bass is all the way up to the line. And now together with the sidechain, it ducks just right. Oh, let me turn it back on. All right, that's how to get your bass and loud, your drum and bass as loud as you're gonna need to get it on the pre-master for sure. I mean, that's up to the line. You can try to, like, if you need it any louder, which on these two you don't really need it louder. You can run some compressors, and that's just gonna take the quieter elements and bring them up loud. I'm gonna try not to get too much into tutorial talk, because since I'm streaming every Saturday, I don't want to repeat myself all the time. But if anyone has questions in the chat, definitely ask me. I'll tell you how I do things. But you'll notice I'm going to be teaching my methods and through the eyes of FL Studio. All right, so this is drum and bass. I'm real happy with that. I think the cymbals need to be a little louder. Just looking at the span, you don't ever you want to mix with your ears, of course, but you can look at these span plugins and analyzers, and you get an idea of kind of like what you end up usually liking. And I kind of just looking at this kind of makes me notice how the hi-hats are kind of low. It'll probably be fine if the other sounds I bring in have a lot of high frequencies. It'll probably end up being fine, but like those little crashes are good. Let's do that. Let's bring in another thing. So yeah, again, I need so this is how I control my the ducking. So you can, like, you go over here to the automation clip. So this is the snare and the kick. Let me go ahead and put all these in here. And here's the snare soft. But then you could, of course, control the automation curve. Oops. What do we got here? Soft, heavy. Oops. Sorry, this thing's not working. All right, so there's kick. So there's snare, soft, snare, hard, snare, 0.5. I'll do an example of how I use that one. But and there's kick heavy, but I need kick soft, like that. And kick 0.5. These are just the actual automation clips that are you can control. Excuse me. What's actually doing the triggering, though, is just a MIDI clip. Excuse me. And then I'm going to put down one more, which is the gate. It's this one. It has a steeper curve. I could probably make a lot of these steeper, depending on how hard you want your sidechain. Okay, so that's good for the snare. So now I need to copy this over to the other one. You know what? I can make a layer. I haven't done that for this template, so I don't have to copy and paste it every time here. I should just be. I should have a layer for each one of these, like this. Layer, and then you can just link these three. I'm trying to think if I want to link the gate to it also. No, I don't. You know, I'll just leave the gate separately. But anyways, I'll take this and I'll set children. So now I can just now I just have this one clip up here, and that should control all three of those. I can do the same thing for the kick. This. Boom, boom, boom. Set children. I hope that was the right one. Yeah. Okay. Show children. Show children. No, I did the wrong one. Let me fix that. So this one is these. Set children. Now I need to open this other one, which is this one, and set children. Okay, and then cut that, put it here. Cut these. This should work the same way. I hope I didn't just mess everything up. Yeah, it's working. It clips right there every time because I just have this short loop. And Remember, I have my automation clip pulled right before the grid, so it's not catching that one. But that's okay, because that's not how you render out a song. You render out the song from the beginning here, and it catches it. So I'm gonna go and make this loop twice as long. All right, let's look for another thing. So we're in E minor, but I can shift anything. So I'm not gonna look for the key. I'm just gonna look for anything. So I'm gonna go back to samples, selected loops. Let's do a lead. I forgot what my beat sounded like already. Hold on. There we go. The blue synth 108 E minor. This one's gonna fit right in. It probably goes with the same pack. Oh yeah, it does. Beam synth. Wait, no, they're different. La blue synth, and the other one's. I said beam. That just stands for bass. Okay, bass, beam, smooth, section 1. I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so let me stretch this one. But beam. And it's actually the way I labeled it. I just did BA for bass. It's actually just called beam smooth, section 1. But I'm like reading it wrong. So it's just my bass sample, bass beam smooth I got from some pack. You know, I got a lot of loops from this iPhone. I mean, what is it called? An Apple. What is it? Loop Cloud. No, Launchpad. That's what it's called. The Launchpad for the iPad. The app. You can go and get some packs from there, and they have some pretty good stuff. And I downloaded some packs from there, and I pulled them off and I put them on there. I think that's where that came from. All right, so let me stretch this. Free. Yeah, for the most part. If the apps, like say if I pay $5 for an app or $15 for an app, I'll download all the loops that come with it. I treat those loops that come with it as part of the $15 or whatever I spent. And I got those loops and I try to use them. Again, I try to get the most value out of all my content. Okay, I've stretched that and I'm going to put this on. Type in BP. Touch this on. What was the 190 again? No, it was 108. So I'll put that 108. E minor. Should be fine. Just like that. I don't like it. But let's go ahead and do the side chain on it. Because it's crazy. So I do the same thing with every one of my sounds. This is how I mix loud. I know there's different ways to get different dynamics, but this is how I like to get the first balance, which is I do try to get everything as close to that green line as possible. So that's going over. So I'm going to gain stage it. I'm going to run a limiter on this compressor. You know what I want to do is I want to make this twice as long. So let me run this at 216, or am I going the wrong direction? Let's see this. No, there we go. That's slow. Now I don't want to compress it now that it's that slow. But I do want to add the side chain on it. So let's go ahead and put this on a mixer track. I'll label this lead. Put that here. Okay, and then same thing. You know, some of my more advanced templates, I have the side chaining already set up on for all this stuff goes, so I don't have to go all the way over here. But I wanted to keep these a little bit more bare, so we don't like boxed in to certain methods. But again, I grab. He's ducking the kicking the snare. I don't like how it messes up my little browser. Okay, there it goes. It's working now. Kick, snare. Put a snare on top. I mean, trick is just to get fast at it. So you just, grab the snare, link to the controller. This one, okay, so this is the lead. I don't want it to duck as heavy as the bass and like stuff. So I want this to go, I'm gonna do the softer version of this. So this is the snare soft. Accept. And kick soft, so KS. I hope I got those right. Oops. Okay. See, they're only going down. They're not going down as much, but I might have to adjust that. So I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna adjust some other things too. First thing I'm gonna do is open up an EQ for this lead. I'm gonna probably cut some of the lows. I'm gonna turn the bass back on. I don't want to mix without all the elements. I don't have any of my reverbs or anything set up right now either, so we'll have to like load them. I'm always watching the limiter over here. Like you'll notice when you want to use your ears again. So you're first mixing with your ears. So if you notice you don't like the sound of it, you're doing something wrong. But if you like the sound of it, but you're noticing it's doing something to your limiter over here, you're having your frequencies are clashing. So usually then you have to adjust the volume. So I'm EQing it to taste, and then I'm going to level it. Let's see, I can get it. You usually want to do level volume first before EQ, but once you get it at a good volume and you still don't like the way it's shaped or whatever, you start EQing. I'm trying to get a little brighter. You know what I want to use? This free plugin I found called Fresh Air. Let's do that. I'm gonna link these. Yeah, Fresh Air is free. I think you have to do like an iLock thing, but that's free too. Yeah, I like it. I started using it on my 808s and everything. I don't use it on directly the 808. I use it on the reverb that I put on the top layer of my distorted 808s to bring out high frequencies of the pre-verb. I don't know. It really makes a difference. Really want to bring those highs up. try not to spend too much time when you're doing when you're doing like your little mixing while you're producing kind of technique. You don't want to spend too much time on the mix. That's the mistake. It's good to mix while you go, but you don't want to spend too much time. Again, I'm just trying to make sure it's not clipping over here, and I'm trying to get it bright enough. But it needs to be louder, I think. I'm probably gonna have to do that with like cutting out more. I'm gonna leave it like that though. It's just that bass is loud, but I like it. So let's look for a little vocal sample or something. Probably chops, vocal chops. Let's go here. So what? If I'm gonna stick to the 5 loop challenge, we've already got a drum loop, or 5. It's not 5 loops. It's 5 elements. So it's the drums, bass, keys. You can have multiple loops, but so I got the drums, bass, keys. Or that's kind of a keys. It's kind of leads. It's kind of the lead for this. I'm gonna do vocals, and then we're gonna find like a pad synth to go in the background. What am I looking for? I need like quick launches for these, which I think I do. So if I hit this, it takes me to my samples, collected loops. I can do acapellas, but I don't have many. I'm just gonna do chops. Yo! That first one I clicked on. That's what I'm saying. I usually don't spend much time digging through sample. I mean, sometimes I do, which is good because you can find some really nice stuff. But I'm of the mind of just making stuff work. You know, if it sounds kind of nice, I like to try to make it work. If it don't work, you swap it out. But I mean, yeah, there's something to say about searching through to try to find something better. But honestly, whatever you don't use today, you can use another day. So it's not like you got to use the best thing every day you sit down. Like, I like that. I'm just gonna go with this. Yeah, I might look for some more in a second. All right, so this is set at 140. I need to shift this to the project's tempo. So I'm gonna go stretch and out of the tech. Type in BPM. There might be another way to do this. This is how I do it. So type in the original. So it's 140. That fits it to the project. Now I need to fit the key though. So that original key is B minor there. I need to get it to E minor. So if you look here, E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps up from B. So you can either lower it 5, or you start on E. Or if you're gonna go from B and go up to E, you can go 1. Yeah, you can raise it 5, or you can take it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a lot. So I'm just gonna go up 5. So if this is B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 5, up 5. Probably do it with this. Now, there's different ways to pitch it. I'm just trying to think of the way I want to do it. Probably just gonna use this knob. I'm gonna go up 5. There we go. All right, I might swap that out, but I'm gonna work with it for now. I'm gonna throw this into a mixer. This out to this. Okay, we'll see also that it's super loud. So I'm gonna mute these other things. I'm gonna check the volume by itself. I want to run a light compressor on this track, so you can see that it's just clipping, but with just those transients. You could run the transient shaper, or you could just run a compressor. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna do a compressor, just so I can get these vocals up to that line without worrying about those clips right there, because that's exactly what we're looking for. We don't want that stuff. That's a good way to get loud vocals. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna drop a limiter on this track. I'm gonna put it in the compressor mode. See, now it's catching the peaks. So the master limiter is not hitting the 0, but this the compressor on the vocals is of course being limited. So. Okay, of course this is gonna be tricky to put on top of everything because you don't always want to sidechain vocals. Sometimes it's fine, of course. If it's a vocal chop, that's fine to sidechain it, and we probably will on this one. But if it's a main vocal or something, you don't always want to duck it. That sounds unnatural. So you have to do different ways of doing that. Let me try this with the beat. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do to try to clean it up is EQ. Okay, putting the EQ before or after the limiter, I mean, there's different reasons for different ones, but it's also just to know, though, it's going to mess with the way that limiter's reacting, especially if you put it before. Now, if I put it after, it won't mess with the limiter, but then it's going to mess with the way we set the limiter, so you're still going to want to adjust things. So that's just something always keep in mind. If you're going to do, like, big cuts, which I'm about to, I probably didn't need to use the limiter first. I should have probably actually taken the limiter off and then just EQ'd first and then limit it if it has a problem still. So I'm going to EQ it first. I'm going to duck out some of these lows. I'm going to run a low shelf. I'm just testing this. I don't know exactly what I'm going for here with this vocal. I'm going to do a low shelf though real quick and try to get this a little brighter without feeling it too much of the... I'm trying to use my ear, but I was also looking over here on the limiter, noticing that some things fix the clipping, but I don't want to fix it all with the limiter. It needs to be fixed other ways too. So, or I mean EQ. I'm gonna turn the limiter back on, see what happens. Run this after. Sorry. Let me mute it out here so it doesn't mess up the automation. See how quiet vocals got because of that EQing? So... I'm gonna EQ. You want to always, you always want to do it to make it sound good, not try to fix all the mastering, mixing problems. You want to EQ it first to make it sound good with the beat. So let me turn everything else on. But if you're using the EQ for volume control, you're making a mistake there too. Sometimes, I mean, it's like, you start sounding better because you're like lowering this all really low and you're like, oh, it's sounding better. But really, it's starting to sound better also because it's getting lower in volume. It's pushing it into the back and it's becoming more of a background, in this case, a background vocal. So, but then I'm also killing a lot of the low frequencies. So if the desired result is just to have a background vocal, I should also just lower the vocal and keep a lot of this in here. So like, I'll show you. So I'll bring that back and then just lower the vocal. So now the vocals are still warm and then they still got quieter. So I thought it was sounding better because I was EQing it and making it quieter, but really it just needed a... That's why you don't want to do too big drastic EQ changes, especially if the sample's already nice. You don't want to do crazy EQ adjustments other than just cutting lows or highs maybe or something, but... Unless you're sound designing, that's a different story too. This makes it a background vocal. Like, let me start this right before so it doesn't clip. And it probably needs some reverb too. Some of these samples already have reverb on them, but so it's a background vocal. It's kind of quiet. If I was to make it more of a lead vocal, I would do tricks because there's a lead going right now. I usually don't put vocals on top of lead. I'd make them lead and the vocal take turns, and there's different ways of doing that. Actually, in this template, I have a sidechain already set up. I could actually just duck the vocals with the lead. Let's see what happens if I do that. Makes it sound kind of weird. Like, watch. You know what? Where'd it go? Yeah. This limiter on the vocals is not doing anything anymore because of the way I EQ'd it. So I kind of messed up that vocal sample. I'm gonna take a break from it for a second. Because I'm gonna come back to it. So I'm gonna mute everything on it. I'm gonna mute the vocal sample. I'm gonna go back over here. All right. Well, it's too quiet for me, but let me try something. I'm gonna bring the EQ back. I'm just gonna delete the limiter because I don't think it needs it right now. Bring the EQ back. Yeah, there we go. And also, I need to chop all this stuff up. So these loops are just going. I haven't chopped any of this stuff up yet. So like the second half of this, after finding the 5 loops I want to use, is to chop the loops up into a new arrangement or something, you know, of course. But like, I don't like how this vocal messes with that lead. Like, they don't really go together. But what I was trying to do a second ago was do this auto ducking. Let's see. So yeah, so that's working. So you can kind of hear the lead. When the vocal happens now, it's automatically ducking the lead and makes the lead quieter. It's really just kind of a shortcut, because really another way to do that is to just, like, you know, cut the lead where the vocals are. But this kind of leaves a little bit based on how much I pull this down. Like, this, cut it completely. You can control the release and everything, but I'm going to leave it a little bit, I think. And then... All right. But I just made a decision. I'm going to swap this vocal out for something else. It's bugging me. I don't really like it anymore. I'm going to delete it completely. Gone. That bass and those leads, they basically work together. They're kind of like playing, like dancing around each other in a sense, but they're actually at the same time. It works. Now I just got to kind of find something that kind of lines up with that. But chops. That's a cool sample, but I don't want to use it for this one. It sounds kind of like it's just because it has that little flutter at the end. I don't want want to use it because I think it's been used many times before, honestly. I'd have to slow that one down. Most of these are going to be sped up because they're slower, so I'm going to try to... I don't have all my samples on this computer, unfortunately. I'm gonna try this one. I regretted it as soon as I pulled it over. I don't want those high chops. It's cool. It'd make a neat track, but it's not what I'm going for. I'm gonna go. I like that. Okay. So this is C sharp minor 150. I don't know if I'm still in the Discord chat. I forgot all about it. I don't know if anyone's watching me in that chat, but okay, type in BPM. 150. So if it's on C sharp and I need to get up to E, I need to go up 3. 300 cents. All right, I want to put this where that other vocal was. Okay. Super loud, so I'm going to pull this volume down. I don't know if it's going to work with the lead and vocal. Let's check this out. Oops. I like it. I'm going to sidechain it. Definitely gonna sidechain it. Some light sidechain here. So let's do that. Sorry, my tools and stuff are not where they used to be. I just recently started working with 2 monitors like this. So. Ducking kick and ducking snare. Okay, so the kick. I'm gonna do the soft ducking on this one. I used to do 3, like a medium, soft, medium, and hard, and I probably should still do that sometimes. But most of the time, I find I just need these. What did I say? Kick soft, accept. Snare soft, accept. All right. Close all that out. Pull this back up. Okay. I'm gonna pull the side chain down a little hard, a little bit more. So it's on this one. So it's at 63%. I'm gonna pull it down to 50%, 52. gonna try to EQ fix some stuff. I might have to take it. So if I was to mute the keys, let's see what happens. And the bass. Either take it out of the drums or take it out of the vocal. Something to do with the drums. I mean, that kind of fixes it. Might need to run a little compressor on it, but it's already pretty compressed already, the vocal. I mean, let me just listen to this straight through and see if there's something I can fix. Again, I'm watching this limiter over here. This is not, again, you don't want to always just mix with your eyes, but you can usually see when things are going to cause a problem. And then you have to figure out the puzzle. How do I fix it without ruining the way it sounds also? And right now the lead vocal is loud. I like it loud. I don't want to really lower it. I could probably lower it a little maybe. But it's clipping here ever so slightly. Almost to not even really worry about it. But I'm trying to stop it from clipping. And I'm trying to take stuff out of the drum loop. That fixes it. But I might need to just take it out of the vocal. So let me try that again. See, when I do that, it puts it in the background. It's not as up front anymore. So it's 1894 frequency. So I'm going to go over to the drums, 1894. I didn't really fix anything. So maybe it's up here. It's really this right here. And then let me turn it down just a little. Let me turn the bass and stuff back on, or the, what was it? A reverb. I don't want to put it right on it. I kind of want to make a reverb bus. I always feel rushed when I'm on streams, but let's see here. Mixing is fun. Yeah, I really enjoy mixing. Honestly, I do feel like it's a puzzle. Try to figure out. I think another trick though is like your ears get from doing like we've been streaming for like an hour, a little over an hour. It's usually a good time to rest your ears, and you don't always have to rest your ears. Sometimes it's a good time to go listen to a reference track. Like your ears get so used to what you're listening to right here that I think things might be sounding good when they really aren't anymore. They're just, I'm so used to hearing it, and the littlest changes aren't like really fixing the bigger picture. And I might think this is too quiet or too loud or whatever, but it's always good to rest your ears, come back, get a fresh listen, but then also jump over. I don't want to do it here because of like copyright stuff or whatever, but I jump over to like SoundCloud and of course look up just tracks within the genre I'm working on. Usually from the newer charts and stuff to get more current mixes. Fox of Galaxy started following you just now, 22 hours ago. Fox has been sleeping on us. Yeah, I go here, I look up whatever genre I might be working on, and then kind of listen to some references. That just gives you a quick like readjustment of your ears. Like, oh, okay, like bass is too quiet, highs are too loud, whatever. Dynamic wise, not like exact reference, but I do that real quick, and then I jump right back over here. Those little bitty dips though on the EQ right there with the lead and the vocals are fine. I find that you're gonna get those with the leads and vocals because the reason why is this is the loudness mixing. This is loudness mixing, and those in electronic, you want those to be aggressive. So that's what I call like going up to the edge and riding the line of like things and really pushing it to the edge. But with the lead and the vocals and the louder things like that, it's sometimes okay to be peaked because you're going to run this through a master limiter anyway, a mastering chain anyways. This is just a pre-master. And once I run it through like ozone, it's barely going to have to work at all to fix all those little bitty dips. It's the bigger dips are what you're worried about, but it's still a good way to keep an eye on everything. It's just by watching it and trying to get as close as everything, as close and as loud as you can without this going. Okay, I was gonna do reverb. Let me throw it right on it for a second. When you put the reverb before the little sidechain here, of course, it's ducking the reverb too. And if I put the reverb on a its own bus, the reverb will not be sidechain. And sometimes that's what you want. Like sometimes you want the instrument to get ducked, but the reverb to kind of go out louder, and it kind of just like fills in the space. But a lot of times you want the reverb to have the same effect as the ducking. So there's just different ways to do it. I'd probably rather have it the other way, but and I could probably pick a better reverb than that too, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna try to pick one last element for our track, which is the chords. I have a really bad short-term memory. I forgot what our track even sounds like. Like, I just start listening to these and I just start thinking a totally different track. That one cuts through the mix. So we're gonna take this. Some little piano. Why not? Okay, so chords. Okay. I'll probably do heavy sidechain on this, much like the bass. Get a real pumping sound. And it doesn't cause any problem with the mix. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So ducking for the snare, ducking for the kick. Going to snare heavy, accept, and kick heavy. All right, but before I do that, I'm going to check the volume of it. I'm gonna EQ it. Oh, I should probably time stretching all that stuff. Okay, 180 A minor. A minor, A minor. It's far away from E. Where am I at? Let's think of V. So it's up 7 or down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can make it low, but it's not going to cut through the mix anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go down 5. All right, I'm going to go down 5. It's going to be a lower piano now. Let's see what this sounds like. Probably have to redo the EQ. This is not working. I'm going to have to chop it up. I'm going to go up 7. I'm going to find a different one. Again, I'm all about making things work, but sometimes it's funner just to try something else. I can just mute it before I do another one. Okay, so let's find something closer to the key that we're in, like, which is E minor. That's like a guitar thing, but I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, it's too much like the vocal, kind of weird distortion. I like that loop. Here we go. Let's try this one. Beam. I feel like this is supposed to go with that bass. They're both named Beam. Oh well. Like I said, I don't have all my loops and samples on here, so we're just messing with a few kits. Like, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred. Some saw action, yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna go 108. Might have to slow it down. I mean, stretch it. Make this work. Okay, so that's a good volume. It could even be a little louder with like a compressor or something. Cause look how all the it's all uneven here. You know, if you really want to slam this, especially if you're gonna be ducking it with a sidechain also, it'd probably be good to run a compressor on it. Like this. That evened it out. Now you can make it louder. But another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring everything back first. The sidechain should be working. So you see it's clipping big time, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto duck the chords also with the vocals. You gotta really, when you do it like this, when you have everything like sidechaining the next element, like you take the most important elements, you leave them up front, but then you have them kind of sidechaining other things behind it, like ducking the volume. But you gotta be real careful or you get too much, you know, too much pumping going on. Yeah, I can duck it through the vocal. So I'm ducking it through the vocals, and I can also duck it through the leads here. You see the leads also ducking it. So it's like everything ducks the chords. The kick, the snare, the vocals, the lead, all duck the chords. Sometimes you got to add another layer to your chords though that doesn't like really get ducked, that kind of feeds in a lot of the higher frequencies so it doesn't sound, but it just depends. Sometimes it's a nice effect and sometimes it's too much, but like right now it's some of it's not working. Like you don't want to make it sound like the chords go completely away. You just want to make it seem like if it was a band playing, that the member would just be playing a little softer while the vocals were louder, just like dynamically playing. And chords also, and pads, even though they're not the same thing, but a lot of times pads are made up of chords and they take the place of your song for the chords. But they're just that. They're the pad, at least the way I always think of it. A pad, it's to pad it's to fill in all the gaps. So you really, once you get all the other elements in there, you pad it with the chords or a pad synth or something. And you want to EQ out any fighting frequencies, and you just want to leave the frequencies that just fill in all the gaps. And that's why it puts it in the background, makes it sound really full, but it's not really going to become the lead or anything. Probably turn it down just a little, and then EQ. Heavy EQ in there, but it works. You notice the bass is trying to cut through now. It's having a hard time, so you can do a couple things like essentially it's like a tilt EQ. I basically just like made this all like high frequencies and like cut off all those. I had like a big but again, I'm just trying to fill in all the gaps. All the other instruments are supposed to be up in front of this. like my, oh, piano. We're not using this piano anymore. I'm going to delete it. Okay, so there are the 5 elements. Drums. I'm going to put this in some kind of order. I'm going to put drums in the bottom. Drums. No, take it back. I'm putting them on top. Drum, bass, chords, lead, vocal. Right? And I'll worry about color and all that stuff later. Now I want to chop these up. So it's not just like straight out of the pack. Which again, it doesn't really matter. This is just for fun. You know, when I have 2 different mindsets when I'm working on music. If I'm working on my album and my personal music, I try not to use any recognizable loops or samples, and I try to build everything from scratch for the most part, or single one-shot samples for like drums. But it's completely original when it comes to that. But then on the other side of that, I have a lot of fun just working with the DAW and, like you said, mixing and stuff. So if you're just trying to have fun, there are no rules. I like to open up packs of loops and play them and mess around with them like they're Legos, you know, and just build stuff for fun. And it really is fun just to try to find 5 random loops and make them fit together, even though it looks like 2 of these come from the same pack. Drink some of my water. All right, so how the best way to chop these? Probably just with the razor blade here. Another good way to like chop this stuff up is just like you can resample all these at the new BPM and then drop them into a sampler and then just use MIDI and all that. But a lot of times it's easier just to do this. I'm gonna leave the drums the way they are for the most part, and I'm going to think here. You know what I want to do? I want to kind of put that vocal chop inside of a sampler and play it with the keys. There's no accent in the drums where this bass hits here, and that's not normal. That's the thing to keep in mind when you're working with loops and stuff and you're making songs. Because a real band wouldn't necessarily play like this. The bass and the drum play really tight together. And you can see right here, the drums are accented in here, and the bass has got some accents over here. It's working because it's like playing call and response. It's filling in the gaps. But the way you could kind of add to that is just add another little drum sound, percussion sound, or cymbal sound, or something like that. It might kind of accent that too. But or move the drums around. But okay, this is where, you know, we got to make some big changes to make it original. Yeah, it sounds good the way it is, but, you know, we didn't write any of these loops. So that's why I'm going to kind of be a little crazy right here for a second. Crazy. Oh, whoa, I have stretch mode on. See that? Now the accent lines up with that. Yeah. And I want to kind of go up a note here. So there's other notes in here that I want to probably use. Why is it getting louder right there? That's kind of weird. Oh, it's only when I'm adjusting it at the same time. So yeah, again, the trick is you really want the bass and the drum to like seem like they're playing together. Doing something wrong here. Let me delete that. What am I doing? So that goes boom, boom, boom. Here. Grabs that. New loop. Needs to turn around down here too. Take that. I'm gonna find a random. I like that. I'm gonna leave that. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah. We could probably change that last one, but I'm gonna leave it for now. Let's go over to these chords. This one's gonna be a little different for sure. I mean a little weirder. Like, let's see. We can like adjust these somehow. Needs to go up here. Somehow I confuse myself with what I'm looking at here. So it goes, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. I don't know where all those samples went. Which one was I moving? Like that kind of works. Why is it there? Oh, is that like that? I don't know which one to leave it. I don't want to leave it on both. I kind of want to leave it. Something kind of like that. Oops. That bass and the lead get kind of like both accent something there at the end, but they're not really lining up. Something to think about fixing. Probably will in a second, but jump down here. I'm just experimenting. Need some work, just some pops and clicks, and I have to listen to it. Kind of works. Need some reverb. Oops. Let's put the reverb. I'm gonna make a reverb bus in a little bit, but I'm just gonna do some temporary reverb. There's some pops and clicks I'm not liking at all. Where are these coming from? Yeah, those are really clicky. It's because of the way I cut them, I guess. There's ways to fix that. I can go in and like add some crossfade. I'll fix that in a second, I guess. I mean, I don't know how much I'm gonna do today. I just kind of just going. I don't want to leave any of these projects hanging, so either I'm gonna like work on them during the week and kind of like throw up like a finished, somewhat of a finished version, or we'll continue like the next week. But again, I'm just trying to have fun. It auto saves, but let me save. That's a good point because I might miss something between my autosave and something important. Let's make a new folder for these. So we'll go to projects. Oh, we got MPA. Look at all these things we've done. Beat Battle, Bird Blood. Oh, that was the scoring competition. We've had our OCA collab, the SA collab, our DJ mixes, the spooky collab, no beat challenges, some other ones too. Let me go new folder. Production streams. I don't know if I should make separate folders. Probably should. We'll just call them like the date. So 03/13/21. Production 03/13/21. Here we go. Thanks, Minty. Okay, now we could really do something with this lead. What I kind of want to do is I want to play it, I want to put it on a keyboard. So it's going to be... The rest of this is really chill. The vocals are really fast, if you think. Just listening to it. I'm trying to think what to do with these vocals. But first, since I need to render these out, what I'm going to do... Let me make unique a sample. I don't want to save it in this folder. It's good that we just made that folder because I can go save it in that folder. So projects, MPA, production streams here. So save that. So that's a new sample. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete these vocal samples. This one. This one. All right, so all the vocals are gone now, but I'm gonna take that sample we just rendered and I'm gonna drop it into SliceX Fruity plugin. So where is it? Projects, MPA, production streams. Oh, weird. It's slower than. Did it not save the new BPM? Oh no, is that right? I can't even tell. Let me just drop this in. That's weird. It didn't save the BPM. What happened? Okay, I can fix this. So I don't know. So I thought I saved as a new sample. I thought it would save it as the new BPM and time stretch, but I guess it doesn't. That's weird. That didn't do that. So I guess that's the original. Is that back down to C sharp? Sounds all crazy. So what I want to do, FCB loop vocal chart. What I want to do is just go back and actually render it instead of doing make unique as sample. I want to just go render it out like I usually do. So let me go back to collected loops, vocals. What was the name of this? FCB. Alphabetical order. FCB. Which one was it? Yeah, that's that same one, but just to be sure, because I've also got some OCD going on. I'm gonna take this, drop it here. I'll once again take this and shift it to the right BPM. That. Type in BPM. 150. And then what? It was C sharp, so we went up 3. Let's go to a new arrangement. And just paste this, that. And I'm not going to lower the volume, but I'm going to mute the... Oh, that's clippy. You know, I'm a gain station. There we go, and I'm going to render this out. So, render. I usually don't change all this, but I don't know why I'm doing this. So, we changed it to E minor, and we put it at 190. That's crazy. 190, which is really like 95. So, there we go. There's quicker ways to do that, I think, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, we got that loop now. Should be good. I'm going to delete this again from here. I'm going to open up a slice X here. Like that. We'll detach it. Let's go back here. Another 15 minutes or so. There. So I dropped that sample into a sampler here, and then we can, I guess, let's do, it's trying to guess the tempo. That's weird. I guess maybe based on this. It's off a little, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to add auto marker grid spacing. Make it a little clicky, so I could add like a little bit of attack to it. Okay. I need to hook up my MIDI controller, but let me add some attack to this with this envelope. Like this, I guess. There we go. We can delete some of these. We can delete this one. I might be able to. Leave like that. Let me turn in my MIDI controller. Oops. Do I have it hooked up? Okay. Let me plug this in. I don't know what I did. MIDI controller. Turn this on. Drink some water. Eventually, maybe I'll have like cameras and stuff for the stream, but okay. So I got. Let's make sure this MIDI controller is working. We also need to move this vocal slice X to the appropriate vocal mixer. Just like this one. I try to keep everything in like a certain order. It helps me mentally. So like drum, space, chords, lead, vocals. Right. And then, so we got this vocal thing here. Track 5. Okay, let me see if this is working. Yes. Okay, so it's basically just one octave here. Let me just see what I come up with. I'm not going to record necessarily. I mean, I will in a second, maybe, once I remember how to do it. Okay, let's just play this. Ooh, where'd everything go? Oh, wrong arrangement. Fruity Loops, you can do different arrangements, which is nice. Whoa, what did I just do? Something wrong with the envelope. Let me fix that. Something like that, maybe. Okay, it's working. I think it's gonna work, but I need to figure out something. It's missing a note. Oh, there it is. I really don't even play it now. I could actually just input some MIDI notes, but let me try to. there's that lead going, and you want to play with the lead. You don't want to play on top of it. You don't want to play something different than the lead. You want to kind of play with the lead. Now, again, if it's going to auto duck the lead sometimes, you kind of just got to make sure. Or you could actually go in there and treat the vocal chops in the lead. Like they're both leads, but you got to take places. You know, they can't be playing on top of each other. Right now they are. Like, for example, I could go in there and like, let's make a MIDI clip for this. Box. So, for example, if I had a clip in here already, like, so where's the lead? So that's the lead. You could, if you want the lead at the beginning, you cut the, if you want the vocals at the beginning, you can cut the lead right there and be like, or you can do the other way around and have the lead play first and then the vocals, but I think this sounds better. So, it looks like something can be kind of done with that. Let me get back in here. Something like that. I'll probably have to adjust it a little bit, but we're just moving along here. Layhub would say to make this a little bit more thought out, like so. Instead of just looping it like that, I could probably make this twice as long. Get carried away here. Needs more melody, yeah. Let's OTT it for sure. Let's see what happens. I mean, honestly, it sounds like it's crushed and crazy already, but this does need something. Let's do, what is that? The lead? No, the vocals. Ooh, scary. Not necessarily, but it's just vocal chops, so it's just like whatever. It's just like an instrument at that point. I'm trying to think here. Before, after the first EQ, I'm gonna go after, and I'm going to OTT it, and I'm probably have to adjust the highs. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Not bad actually. Doesn't even make much difference. That's what I was thinking. It's already sounding pretty like OTT. It cleans it up though. Yeah, it cleans it up. Made it tighter. Let's look at this span. Yeah, Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Oh, we got some crazy rogue frequencies here, though. Look at this thing just like buzzing away right here. That just screams muddy. Oh, I forgot. We chopped the bass up a little different, but still, let's see. It doesn't sound bad, but let me see this. That's, yeah, it's not the worst thing to see. Let's see. That's at 246. 246. Let's go look real quick what the bass is doing at 246. See, that just sounds a little cleaner. Sounds like something you'd hear a little. Cuts through now a little more. I think it is. It could just be my ears playing tricks on me, but I think that cleaned it up. So let's look at it again. This looks pretty good, but we need some like stuff up here. You just don't want to put anything up there. You want something that works, you know what I mean? Hey, that's pretty cool. I'll probably sample this and make a little video. I mean, I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna post the Twitch stream as a replay in the community and make like a post with it and like, hey, check out the replay. They had to promote it for next week too. I'm also gonna make little clips of this just to post maybe on our, we can post it on our Twitter. I don't know what we'll post it on, just in the community. We want to make a, thank you. We want to make a IG too. Eventually, we've been talking about emeralds ones too, so we're trying to like think of a good use for it instead of just like promoting stuff all the time. So we're thinking of like maybe this we can post like clips from our streams. Might be good. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. Let's listen to this one more time while I close this down. Thanks for hanging out the whole time, Minty. That was Bacon Cat, aka Minty Miss. That was cool. If anyone else that was here just not talking, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to kind of work with my setup. I tried to have like all the different chats going and stuff, but it's really kind of hard for me to pay attention to different things, but it's really easy for me to pay attention to Twitch chat. I actually have the Twitch chat right here behind. Like what y'all see is the second monitor down in the bottom right corner. I see the Twitch chat there. So I could easily see that. So it's really easy to follow that. So that really worked out. We're going to do this every Saturday, same time. This kind of goes along, it goes right beside our, Discord hangout that we try to do now, so you can also hang out in the Discord if you want, watch the stream with other members, and you can also someone can recast it even into the Discord if they wanted to. So anyways, that'd be cool. I'll get this posted, and then anyone, and I can also send this out and we can work it. We can turn any of this stuff into like collabs. So if we get something cool going on at the end of it, I zip it up, post it, post it as like a zip file, a loop pack with the new loops that we cut out here, and then in the community, if they want, they just get free like some content each week, collab content and stuff. All right, pretty fun. See y'all back in the community. I'm gonna message you, Minty, about something. Thanks everybody. See y'all later. Get a hold of me anytime by messaging me on the Discord or Amino or my email. Bye.